Hi, my name is Matthew Basius, and I'll be presenting you on why we should continue our efforts to Mars. So, first and foremost, the crux of it is the discovery and the scientific knowledge that this project brings. A British doctor by the name of Alexander Kumar, seen here, he says it best by saying, "Only by pushing mankind to its limits, to the bottoms of the ocean and into space, will we make discoveries in science and technology that can be adapted to improve life on Earth." And the project to Mars is summarized by this quote here. It's a culmination of many things, innovation, inspiration, to get a project that's so hard in our day and age, but it increases our stature, and it's a milestone in humanity. In terms of scientific knowledge, you get to know more and understand more about cosmic entities. When you get to Mars, you have more distance to see other things that are into the stars, and you could branch out to other planets that we might have not seen before. You can learn about details of Mars geography even better. Now we have satellites like Mars rovers, and they're already looking at this stuff, but once you get people to Mars, you can actually study these things in very much more detail. Now, the most important, in my opinion, for this project is that inspiration and innovation fuels a project like this. Excuse me. So Mars is a benchmark for innovation, and it inspires children of the future, just like it did with me. Personally, I'm studying aerospace engineering, and anything that has to do with propulsion or rockets or cosmic entities, that's when I saw stars at night. I went going over to Pennsylvania's the Cherry Hills stars, and I saw all the stars, and I just immediately I was in love with it, and I wanted to pursue aerospace engineering as my career. So that's a big inspiration. And again, it increases STEM research. You have the engineers, the technology, the medical field, and all that. But in addition, you also get people who are in like agriculture, business, or etc., even art. This is very important. When you're doing a big project like this, you need a whole span, a whole band of ideas that are put together to finally have something to go put people out of this planet and actually live on somewhere they weren't born before. And last but not least, space is pretty cool. It's an interesting in general. I mean, that's why I took my degree, have my passion in this. The third reason is that it's a new timeline for humanity. I would call it a reset of history, if you may, because when you're bringing all these people to a new planet, not a country, not a state, when you bring them to a new planet and the environment is so foreign to you, to everybody, no matter what culture you are, you need people who are a united people who will not have any wars, who won't have conflicts, because you can't do that with a project like this. You need people who will work together, and politics can't really get in the way of that. So it would definitely be a good point in humanity to just reset, at least for a project for Mars. Last but not least, it's an advancement and expansion of humanity. Now, there was a competition for terraforming Mars by NASA, and this structure right here is AI Space Factory of New York's winning 3D printed model. It's a terraformed structure built for the conditions of Mars, but it was 3D printed, and 3D printing things may be a little bit new in this day and age, but having a structure that can withstand environments in Mars that's 3D printed is really, it's innovation. It honestly goes through all the things I've just explained. This structure that they've built is a culmination of why the project to Mars is such a good thing, because you have engineers who thought about a really cheap way of building a structure like this to withstand something. Now, if the Mars experiment fails, that's okay. Because as I said before, when you have a structure like this that's been built, you've had those engineers work on something, and it might not even branch out to a structure like this, but it could lead to something else. Usually when people do experiments, they might discover something else on their own, and that branches out to other things. Before, if I remember, I believe NASA was the one who created our way to preserve food nowadays. That was to have astronauts have food in space, but now people use it everywhere. So that's what you get from a project like this, even if the project fails. These are my sources, and thank you for watching.